Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So, standing high above Mor Dhona, we have this structure here, the Crystal Tower. And it is inside here we have the first of the 24-man raid series that was ever released for the game. And we are going to be checking out the first part of that today, and it all starts back in town over here. We need to speak to this outlandish man. It's a legacy of Allag. Do I know you? Ah. Unless I am very much mistaken, you are the famed adventurer who bested the Garlean Empire's general, are you not? The great PrinceBrightstar himself. Amazing, and more than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. I but recently received word of a truly unique opportunity, you see. An opportunity the like of which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. Reward? Not less the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk? A single misstep could cost you your life. But what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A man with absolute confidence in his own abilities stands to profit handsomely from this venture. No, I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. Hey Ads, thanks for joining. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at St. Conech. Fine. It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels, awaiting the arrival of a champion bold enough to march across the threshold. Alright, so that is going to take us to the east, to the town that does not have a Aetheryte. So, we actually have to mount up and make our way over there. But yeah, when this originally released, or rather when A Realm Reborn was released back in 2013, there was a lot of speculation about what this Crystal Tower is all about, and if there was any sort of relationship to Final Fantasy III. And we are definitely going to find out about that inside of here. So we have almost made it to our destination, and here we are. Why, if it isn't PrinceBrightstar himself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could very well find himself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey to Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? Of course. I rather thought you would say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now, the first... Prince, I thought it was you. What brings you to St. Conech? Don't tell me the Alliance has sent you on another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insufferable foe, yes? No? Ah, I see you two are already acquainted. That is well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero here, caught wind of the forthcoming expedition, and has kindly pledged to assist us. He has he? Glad to have you aboard, Prince. You don't have the faintest idea what you volunteered for, do you? Very well, let us begin at the beginning. The Son of St. Konach are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allagan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. Ah, but I know that look. In the event you feel ill-equipped to contribute much on the subject of Allagan archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the Ultima weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nirotolskavia simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Allagan relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. Now to the core of the matter. Here in Mor Dhona, there stands an entire Allagan structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon, and the lesser moon Dalamud before it, it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. Put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground. But like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We believe the tower to be a repository of much of the Ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through that keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen, the Eight Sentinels, as the Sons are wont to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. So, I have an idea. Can't we just, go around them? Why not simply fly over them in an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues, or the front door is forever beyond our reach. Actually, I wasn't thinking of flying over. I was thinking, just going to the right or left of the statues, where the barriers aren't. My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, Prince, but I can think of no finer man for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. There is much and more to be done before we can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Alright, let's speak with Rambrose again. Our first objective is to reach the entrance of the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, this will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, wind, and earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garlong's analysis, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Mayhap I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the Beast Tribe's strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray make for Lenosha, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamaro mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastmen's sacred rituals will be well defended. As such, I suggest you join or organize an orchestrated strike with the express purpose of defeating the Crystal's guardians. Whatever you do, please be careful. Alright. So, we need to make our way over to Lenosha, and we're going to head to Camp Outlook. And as we can see, our objectives here are to participate in certain fates, which means we need to first find out if those fates are actually open. And this is basically, some would argue, actually the longest part of this whole process here to gain access to the Crystal Tower, simply because the fates can sometimes take a while to pop up. So let's see what is currently up. The Miner in the Mirror, and making the rounds. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take on some of the fates. Or actually, no, before we do that, let's head for the Sapsa spawning grounds, and let's see if this one is open. Before we start just waiting for it. We need Aleport. Alright, so taking a look at the map, looks like Making Waves is actually open right now, so it's a good thing we came over here. Quiet evening in Lenosha, that's for certain. That's not the fate we're looking for. Now, we're going to have the advantage of coming into here as a higher level than when players originally went to unlock this content. And we'll be able to use that if we happen to lose out on a lot of health. But let's see how this goes first. Alright, here is the fate. And let's get going here. Alright. There goes the first fate. And now let's make our way over to Camp Outlook again. Alright, now since the fate that we're looking for over here still isn't up, what we're going to do instead is we will work to complete the fates that are available here. And hopefully that will trigger the fate that we need to pop up. Alright, so in this particular case, something that I can show you here is since we're taking a lot of damage, what we can do is, since we are a higher level than what we are synced down to, we can actually unsync. And basically, we're not going to take that much damage at this point here. And instead, we can just target ourselves and just heal ourselves up. And then we can just get right back into it. That's one of the advantages of being able to do fates later on, if you have to. Now, the other thing that you can do, since these guys technically aren't part of the Fate as well, is you can just take them out in one shot by unsinking and then sinking back down again. Alright, so that Fate is done. The Fate that we're looking for, I believe, spawns over in this area here. And the idea here is that hopefully by taking out Fates, we'll be able to get it to spawn quicker here. I guess I could bring out my Chocobo as well to help with this. Alright, that finishes off that Fate. So there's another to the west that we can take a look at. The one to the north... Oh, actually, it looks like that one just finished. So the one to the north is actually one that rotates back and forth between this slot and this slot. But I don't think that's actually going to bring up the Fate that we need, but we can certainly still try. One did just pop up down here, though, so let's head over to that. I remember correctly, I think this was the fate that actually took me the longest to get to come up when I was doing this originally a couple of years back. Alright, so that finishes off that one. Once again, we are still waiting for the fate that we actually need to pop up so we can actually get in there, grab the crystal, and then get out of here. At this point, there aren't any other fates up, so I'll still go ahead and see if doing this will actually do what we need it to do. Almost have this one down. Alright. And let's make our way down to Camp Overlook so we can take care of this one real quick. I'm kind of surprised. When I was looking for through the recent patch notes, I understood that that Square Enix had adjusted how hard it was to actually get the materials that were needed to get into the Crystal Tower. I guess they didn't actually adjust this portion of it, though. we still don't have the fate that we're looking for here. Hopefully it pops up soon. Alright, let's activate this one. Alright, so we gotta take on these kobold men. Oh, no we don't. It just popped up. Let's get out of here. Yep, here's the fate. Stopping the shakes. So this one shouldn't be that bad. Okay, so I think what may have happened here is they reduced the amount of health related to these fates, but they didn't actually adjust how much, or rather, what the spawn rate for the fate was. But anyway, we've got what we need, so let's now make our way back over to Mor Dhona. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastmen's strongholds? Let's hand over the crystals. Now, these are the famed flawless crystals of the Beast Tribes. I have seen countless specimens from I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You have done well, Prince. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zaharak, the war camp of the Amalja in Thanalan. The latter in Nadalan, the roost of the Ixal in the hills of Korthus. Claim them for us. As before, your best course will be to take part in a coordinated attack against the defenders of the crystal caches. I look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. Alright. So, let's make our way over to Southern Thanalan, to Little Alamigo for the one in Zaharak. Alright, and we're looking for the He's a Fire Starter, which just popped up here. Alright, let's take this guy on. Alright, and now let's make our way over to Korthus. And now we're looking for a fate called the Stormcaller. Oops, did not mean to fall down there. Well, I'm looking at the timer on this one. This one's about to go away anyway, so we'll check out the one to the south instead. Alright, let's sync up here and take this guy out. There's no reason for us to be taking that additional damage at this point here. Alright, so the fate is supposed to pop up over here. It actually looks like there aren't any fates currently open on the map here, so I guess we'll just hang here for a moment. Or no, actually, I had the wrong map open. Alright. Alright, let's check out the fate to the south now. Once again, the goal here is to try to force the game to spawn the fate that we need here, by taking out other fates. Looks like we need one more croc to finish this one up. Over there. Alright, we got two to the east now to take care of. Almost got this one down. Alright, let's make our way to the south now. And that finishes off that fate. There's two over here. I think I'm gonna hang in this area for just the moment here. Let's get this fate going. This should be the last one we need to take out. We're gonna take on this Rock of Ages fate, and then we'll make our way over to Inspector Hatchet then. Alright, it looks like it just popped up here. Alright. Doesn't seem like this one is going down as quick as the other three did. Alright, let's make our way back over to Rambrose. Yes, ads. To answer your question, if you get through certain portions of the, wait, are you talking about the original Binding Coil, or are you talking about the Ultimate mode? Yes, so if you happen to complete the original version of the Binding Coils, then when you get to a certain scene, I think it's in patch 3.4, where you meet up with Alize, that will actually impact the dialogue that's in the conversation. Prince, it is good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals from the Beastmen? Let's hand those over. Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we are now ready to proceed to the next stage of our preparations. I hope I did not give the impression that we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there is another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals you acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in their present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower's defenses, they must needs be cut and polished. A process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Procuring them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we will be requiring your services once again. Alright. If the flawless crystals you procured for us are to retain their elemental purity during the shaping process, a very specific set of abrasive substances will be required. Well, I say substances, but one might just as well call them one substance, namely aether sand, which has 4 elementally aspected varieties. Alas, aether sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it is not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones it is used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmiths Guild in Ul'dah seemed the likeliest place to purchase the quantity we require. When I contacted the Guildmaster, however, I was informed that no aether sand was currently available. Though I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in, I have yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention at this point that I placed the order some time before you procured the flawless crystals. I am well aware that acquiring aether sand is no small feat, of course, and I am not an impatient man, but I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk that the tower's secrets may fall into the hands of others, less savory parties. That is why I wish to entrust you with the payment of our purchase, and send you directly to speak to the Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished personage will spur the guild into action. In any event, it is my hope that when next we meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of aether sand we require. Alright, so let's make our way over to Ul'dah. As you can see, this is definitely a process to even just open up the crystal tower here. And my time, unfortunately, is a little bit limited today, but I still wanted to at least do something here today. Ah, Master Brightstar. Welcome, welcome. What brings you here, if I may ask? Let's hand over the payment. You're here on behalf of the Sons of St. Conach? What fortunate timing. I was just about to contact Master Rambrose with the news that we finally managed to acquire a quantity of fire aspect of the aether sand. I'm afraid it may be some time before we can supply the other 3 varieties, but you are welcome to settle accounts for which we have now. Pray speak to Jamim over... Ah, I do beg your pardon. It seems she's assisting another customer. Come on, there must be something you can do. Without that sand, we'll have to rethink our whole design. I sympathize with your plight, sir, but as I explained, the aether sand in question is already spoken for. If you'd like to reserve the next shipment, then I would be happy to accept the funds you've offered as partial payment. Partial? Are you saying it's not enough? I'm already stretching our research budget as it is. I suppose a man can do without a midday meal for a year or 2. Prince, it's been too long. What brings you here, then? Got your eye on something expensive, have you? Well now, that is quite a money pouch. The sound of so many gil clinking together is strangely satisfying, is it not? Calming and yet invigorating at the same time. Oh no, you're here for the blooming aether sand, aren't you? Well, I can't deny the Allagan civilization's a subject worth researching. The chief said he was looking into something big, but we never thought to ask him what. Wedge and I have been too busy tinkering with a new airship design to think of much else, see. Well, I say tinkering, wrestling would be more like it. Still, after wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth, we've managed to put together a prototype crystal-powered propulsion system. We got the idea for it when we heard how you lot had used a corrupted crystal on board the Enterprise, as a matter of fact. Anyway, to cut a long story short, our design calls for all 4 varieties of aether sand. And that's why I can't just relinquish my claim on this batch here, even for you, lad. How are we meant to usher in a brave new age of technological innovation if not by technologically innovating, eh? Ahem. While I hesitate to interrupt such an impassioned speech, duty compels me to point out that this gentleman is a representative of the organization that reserved the aether sand in question, to mention nothing of the fact that his purse is considerably larger than yours. Oh, it's like that, is it? Alright, this batch is yours. I'll let you have it. But if you're going to take my sand, it's only fair that you grant me a role in this project of yours. I'll take that as a yes. Ah, it's not every day you get a chance to experiment with the wonders of the ancients. With any luck, it'll inspire me to think up another technological innovation or 2. Alright, so let's speak to Biggs here. Now then, from what you've told me, I'm guessing you'll be needing the other 3 varieties of elementally aspected aether sand as well, right? Then rather than sitting on your rump waiting for a shipment that may never come, I reckon your time would be better spent looking for the stuff yourself. And it just so happens I know of a good place to start. There is said to be a peddler in northern Fanalan who, very occasionally, handles the earth-aspected variety of aether sand. Wedge is in the process of confirming the rumor as we speak. I know what you're thinking. When did my timid little friend decide he didn't need me to hold his hand anymore? The answer being, just the other day. Seems he's been inspired by a certain adventurer's heroic example. I thought he was joking when he volunteered to go to Thanalan without me. I just hope he manages to stay out of trouble. Head out to Blue Fog, and you should find him poking about with his new bodyguard. Oh, did I not mention her? Wedge thought it might be wise to hire an adventurer to accompany him, just in case your heroic example turned out to be less inspiring than he first thought. Alright, so, let's make our way to Blue Fog, in northern Thanalan. And there's the adventurer we're looking for. Save your greetings. If you're looking for a hired blade, then you'll have to look elsewhere. After the day I've had, the only company I crave is the squat, silent type. The type that has a handle and holds no less than a pint of ale. You wish to hear my tale? I warn you, 'tis no stirring epic, but as you asked, my employer, a Lalafellan lad, wished to pay a visit to a peddler who deals in some manner of special sand. I forget what it was called, but 'tis apparently worth a small fortune. Anyway, when we arrived, the man claimed his stock had been stolen by bandits. Determined not to return empty-handed, we crept into the bandits' stronghold and set about locating the stolen goods. Long story short, alarms were raised, rogues were awoken, and we fled in a blind panic. I was separated from my employer in the confusion and have not seen him since. Oh, he's a friend of yours, is he? Then you'd best be prepared for the worst. 'Tis just possible the poor sod may be lost in old Almagina, Mithril Mine, but I fear the bandits will have caught up with him by now. Alright, so we need to rescue Wedge. And that, all the way over there. Oh, with Wedge in hand? How could I be so stupid? Sneaking into a bandit's lair, it's just not the sort of thing I do. And now I'm going to die for it. No, I just need to calm down. I can do this. I can be brave. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to walk out of here. Here we go. Yeah! I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I promise I'll leave and never come back. Prince, it is really you. But how did you find me? Can you smell fear? Actually, ignore the smell. I expect you're wondering why I'm here. Well, I was just in the process of retrieving some stolen aether sand which Biggs and I need for our research, as it happens. It was, I concede, perhaps a touch foolish, and very nearly fatal. But I did succeed in snatching the stuff before my bodyguard ran away, and several dozen bandits came piling after me with knives and axes, and what looked very much like a plank with a rusty nail in it. Anyway, the important thing is that the stolen aether sand is right here in my oh dear. It must have fallen out while I was, taking evasive maneuvers. It seems I won't be leaving this infernal place for a while yet. You'll find the aether sand in my stead? Oh, thank the gods. You're a true friend, Prince. I hope this search doesn't prove too troublesome. The bandits don't seem to care much for visitors. Alright, let's look for that aether sand. It looks like it's right over here. Alright, let's head back over to Wedge. Prince, have you had any luck locating the aether sand? Let's hand it over. Yes, that's it. I must return to the workshop at once and tell Biggs the wonderful news. What's that? You're on a mission to collect aether sand? And you're working with the chief? A treasure trove of Allagan knowledge, you say? I see. Then you should really be the one to have this. Biggs and I are far from exhausting all possible avenues of airship innovation. But it sounds as if your problem can't be solved by any other means. This expedition of yours sounds jolly interesting, I must say. I'm half inclined to join you. In fact, I think we will. Any venture worth the chief's time must be worth a look. Right, I'm more than ready to leave this awful place behind. And you should return to Mor Dhona with that aether sand before there are any more, little mishaps. Be sure to keep a close eye on your pockets, Prince. Alright, let's head back to Rambros. Alright, we are just about there. Ah, Prince, you have returned. I take from your presence that you were successful in procuring us some aether sand? Tell me, which variety did you find? Let's hand them over. I see, 2 varieties. Well, that is more than I could reasonably be expected, and 2 less than I had hoped you would say. Forgive my flippancy. You have done well, truly. If all goes to plan, we no longer need no longer fear death by fire or earth. Master Garland, if you would be so kind as to prepare the relevant crystals. I shall set to work immediately. Truth be told, I've been looking forward to this. One does not encounter materials like these every day. Speaking of which, how in the 7 hells did you find them? Mistake me not, old friend. I know only too well how capable you are, but aether sand isn't something you simply find gathering dust at the back of a merchant's rare gem cabinet. You had help from Biggs and Wedge? Trust them to design a revolutionary new engine the moment I turn my back. How's a genius meant to rest his laurels when his employees are so damnably inventive, eh? And now they've determined to join us, are they? Typical. I jest, of course. It would be good to have them around. Still, as a matter of professional pride, let's endeavor to procure the 2 remaining varieties of aether sand before they arrive, shall we? Tell me, Rambros. Have we any information on where the water and wind aspected types might be hiding? Not as of yet, but I have made certain arrangements. We shall soon see if my efforts have borne fruit. Forgive me for observing, but you seem less than enthusiastic about the prospect. If there's a complication, I'd rather we discuss it now than risk jeopardizing the expedition. Mayhap an explanation is in order. But first, let us savor the preliminary victory that Prince has won for our cause, if only for a moment. Alright. I'll take the gill. Yes. I must speak of the arrangements I made to acquire the 2 remaining varieties of Aether Sand. Some days ago, I asked a Charlian acquaintance of mine to travel to Gridania, and there gather the necessary materials. Since that time, however, I have heard nary a whisper from him. To be frank, this lack of communication is not entirely uncharacteristic, but I cannot discount the possibility that something ill has befallen the man. Alas, we do not have time to investigate his fate. As I have mentioned before, the more we delay our expedition, the more likely it is that the Crystal Tower's secrets will fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, I would entrust you with the same mission I assigned my friend. Travel to the Black Shroud, and seek out Parsemont Tre, the master of the markets of Gridania. If anyone knows where Aether Sand might be bought, it is he. Alright. Let's make our way over to New Gridania. And let's hit the Aethernet to the Leatherworkers Guild. And the markets are over here. Yes? I'm sorry, did you say you wish to purchase Aether Sand? My dear fellow, have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you seek? Why, I have not seen so much as a grain of Aether Sand in these markets for many a long year. I could tell you where one might mine the ore from which the water aspect variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would willingly set foot in the place. You seem undeterred. Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? That is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by a particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the betussed nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell. Alright, so that is going to send us over to Quarry Mill. And then Earth's Gift is actually to the southeast of here. Alright, and it's supposed to be... Here we go. Hulking Hog Carcass. You're too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. You will find no trace of the ore which but recently lay here. Nay, not so much as a speck. Ah, no. You will never spy me from there. For the time being, at least, you will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed mineral you hope to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I have decided to share the location of an alternative source of Aether Sand with you. The wind-touched variety. Be specific. I trust I have your attention? Good. A band of Exal in the North Shroud keeps a quantity of the abrasive for the purpose of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. The XIV logging grounds in the North Shroud shall be our destination. And that is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. Alright, to the North Shroud we go then. And our destination is all the way up to the north, it looks like. Alright, it looks like that's the Aether Sand over there. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of Aether Sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours. And yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help feeling that the greater prize is mine. This inequity must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east, in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Dolhans. And that sends us over to here. And that appears to be the other Aether Sand we need. Not what you were expecting? I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into Aether Sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind, until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history, as it is made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. Alright, let's head back to Rambrose. What news of your mission? Are we any closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? Let us hand these over. You brought both? I shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. There, that should do the trick. Excellent work. Now we possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. Oh, it was a trifling matter, I assure you. Prince here is the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from striding up to the Allagan's front door. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs, Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get the chance to study the wonders of the Allagan Empire, is it? Their technology makes Garlemald's look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged onto the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief. It's, freedom through technology. Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Allagan Empire could not save their civilization, and have damn near doomed ours. Twice. That is why we must explore the Crystal Tower, and if need be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding wills such as yours that have defined the course of history. Though you return at last, what, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you would not have forgotten about the Aether Sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Grahatia, one of the students of Baldessian. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Grahatia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome him as one of our own. So then, our fellowship is complete. All stands ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah! Noah? That is the name I have chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Conach, can we? And we must have a memorable application if our venture is to leave its mark in the annals of history. I could claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does, technically, but my true reason for choosing this name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted Allagan Archmagus. An Archmagus? I like the sound of that. Very well. Now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Let's do it. Ready! Gentlemen, the secrets of Ancient Allag beckon. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Adventurer, you and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Rembros, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Allagan history, it seems logical that I should lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can but make use of the resources at hand. Assuming all are in agreement, let us proceed forthwith to the large, lopsided gate found to the southeast. Alright. And here is the gate. Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Cid, you are the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the present. Say, the energy radiating from these statues is palpable. Lucky for us, that is. One might otherwise stroll past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevented would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 yomes of the tower's inner reaches. No matter how swift they may be. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to craft should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's two. Dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to see that they work. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. The last one is yours, old friend. It only seemed right. Haha, we did it! So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Prince and a hand-picked party of his adventuring companions enter the tower. What? Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will, but our investigations must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of the place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits us on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Prince here fits that description better than anyone I know. And it is not as if we shall be idle in his absence. While Prince and his companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rebel for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable in that endeavor, Historian Grahatia. Ah, do you ever tire of being right, old man? Prince, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me at least to provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During this initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell, and we shall join you post-haste, no matter what Master Garland says. Though we would prefer it if any relics you encountered remained intact. You have leave to do whatever is necessary to secure ingress to the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you, Prince. Alright, so Labyrinth of the Ancients is now available. And due to the queuing that I have seen related to this particular raid and tank classes, this is actually something that we are going to start into on the next episode. So that way we are not waiting around for this thing. If you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I put out a new video. I also have a Discord, link to that is in the description below. Whenever I go live, I also put a notice in there. Thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.